Mommy and daddy's divorced, and a divorced mom pretty much got nothing. I'm not going to leave my mom by herself.
Neither am I.
So I'm going to make sure my mother's taken care of. None of my siblings have helped me take care of my mother to make sure she was okay, except for Tamar. No one said,
This is before Vincent.
Before Vince, Mommy's car insurance is due. Let's help Toni with Mommy car insurance.
Or
Tamar.
Mommy needs a car.
Normally, I would never have a conversation with Trina or any of my sisters about helping out financially with my mom. But because I'm so stressed in that category, I needed to.
Oh, honey, if there's one undeniable truth about the Braxtons, it's that Toni wasn't just the star. She was the family's personal bank account, emotional support line, and emergency fund all rolled into one. And shocker, it sucked the life right out of her. Honestly, with the level of stress she was under, are we even surprised her body eventually said, nope, and hit her with an autoimmune disease?
He told me upset with me. I was told the devil was breaking up our family, the devil was raging. So it was a bad thing. My sister Tracy is the one who said to me, Toni, you know, when you make it, you can help us, come on. So I always tried to abide that. But the responsibility of it is so heavy for me. I feel I can never live my life. And I never used to say it. I never used to say anything to anybody. But since we've been doing this show, I've been saying it.
So, word on the street is that Tamar has been spilling the tea about just how badly the whole mess crushed Toni. And get this, she actually feels bad for her sister, who didn't just file for bankruptcy once, but had to do it twice.
Bankruptcy was because I was sick. I have lupus, and my show in Vegas got canceled.
And the insurance wouldn't cover it.
The insurance didn't cover it, so I had to pay myself.
Yeah.
And so
that's a lot. That was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money to put up a show. People don't understand this. If you see a concert, you see the lights, you see the band on stage. The artist pays for all that. The hotel rooms, the salary. So then you have nothing left.
Now hold up. Was life really that bad for Toni Braxton that she ran off and married Birdman, then hit the eject button just 2 days later, all for a juicy payout? Baby, that's exactly what the streets are whispering. And yes, we're about to dive headfirst into that messy pot of tea. See, while Toni is out here being a literal music legend, most people don't know sis was barely making enough to survive, let alone bankroll her whole family. Picture this. She's generating over $170 million in record sales for her label, but still ends up filing for bankruptcy, more than once. Why? Because while Arista Records was cashing in, Toni was getting crumbs. And we're not talking about a nobody here. This is a woman with Grammys and over 70 million albums sold. She first hit the scene with her sisters, the Braxtons, in the late 80s before dropping her solo debut Toni Braxton in '93, and boom, it shot straight to #1 on Billboard 200 and sold 10 million copies. With iconic tracks like Breathe Again and Another Sad Love Song, produced by the legends Babyface and L.A. Reid, she set the charts on fire. Then came her follow-up album Secrets, featuring the heartbreaking smash Unbreak My Heart, which also moved 10 million copies worldwide released. Basically, we're talking about a full-blown powerhouse here, and yet Toni Braxton was straight-up used and abused by her own record label. Like, if this is how they treat a Grammy-winning legend, child, imagine the kind of shady nonsense they're pulling on artists who don't have platinum plaques or a household name. Anywho, Toni ended up filing a lawsuit against her label. And in January 1988, Toni also filed for bankruptcy. Then later she revealed that she declared bankruptcy due to recording contract issues that amounted to her receiving less than $2,000 in royalties and having to reimburse her record label for clothes, travel, studio time, and music video costs. Her situation was so bad that at one point Toni was accused of fraudulently transferring like $53K to her ex-husband Carrie Lewis. To make matters messier, Toni was even accused of secretly moving $53,000 to her ex, just to dodge paying creditors during her bankruptcy case. And yep, she filed again in 2010, but this time, it wasn't shady money moves. It was because she got hit with microvascular angina, then lupus, and had to cancel her high-paying Las Vegas gig. Other than this, she was also having issues in 2019 when the Internal Revenue Service filed a first lien against her on December 4th. The lien stated that Toni owed a total of $340,252.99 in back taxes for 2017. Days later, The state of California Franchise Tax Board also hit her with a tax lien of their own, over $116,15464 for money owed, bringing the total to nearly $500,000 in back taxes. Now here's the kicker. While Toni was drowning in debt and health issues, she was still footing the bill for the whole damn family. And guess what? Trina and Tawanda weren't just lounging around. They were demanding a paycheck for working for their own sister. Meanwhile, Tamar was helping with the bills and not asking for a dime. And no, Toni wasn't expecting her sisters to work for free, but if she's already paying them, the least they could do is, I don't know, check on their mother or handle basic things at home. But nope, they didn't even lift a chipped nail. All that weight? It crushed Toni. And the only one who even tried to ease the load? You guessed it, Tamar. Now, we know the Braxton family drama with Tamar has been next level, but believe it or not, Sis was actually the one holding it down behind the scenes. And speaking of scenes, let's talk Birdman. These two first sparked romance rumors back in 2016, and baby, that's when things really got interesting. And in an interview with People in 2018, Toni revealed how long they had been friends and how she never expected a romantic relationship. She said, "He's been my bestie for like 15 or 16 years. He has come to my baby showers, my plays, my shows. I never thought we would be dating or getting married. It's comforting to have someone tell you it's okay to be ill and that you don't have to be Wonder Woman at all times. Every day I had a show, he came. Every night he would ask me, 'Are you okay? Are you good?' I said, 'Oh my God, he's such a great guy.' When Birdman finally made his move, he told me he always liked me. And I was like, 'You never told me.' And he's like, 'Well, you were married.' He said, 'I was always digging on you.'" In the same interview, Toni also said that although battling a disease that involves the constant threat of blood clots and pulmonary embolisms, which can be mentally, physically, and emotionally draining, she never had to fake the state of her lupus around Birdman because he always understood. She added, "I can get on television when I'm having a terrible day and tell them it's a good day and he'll say, 'No, it's not.' I can tell. I've always had issues dating because I was ashamed to have lupus and felt like no one would want to take care of a woman with lupus. I was insecure. With him, I can be comfortable with a little hat or scully on with some lipstick and mascara, but I can just let my hair down a little bit and that feels great." So yes, Birdman finally popped the question, and Toni didn't waste a second showing it off, posting pics just minutes before the proposal and again 24 hours later. One snap had them all hugged up, the other? A cute little selfie with Toni's brand new rock front and center like it was auditioning for its own show. And just when fans thought this was all a stunt, Birdman hit up Wendy Williams and poured his whole heart out, calling Toni his love, his soldier, his everything, and said he loved her to death. Real poetic for a man known for grills and gangsta rap.
Guys, a couple.
Well, T, that's my girl, my friend, my family.
Do you have sex?
That's my love, my soldier, my life. She my everything, and I trust her.
Because you bought her a Bentley truck.
Yes.
So the implication is that's your girlfriend.
She my life. I love her to death.
Toni also spilled some tea about the engagement, saying they almost had a wedding date. Actually, scratch that, they had two. But of course, while filming Braxton Family Values, drama came knocking, as always, and she thought, hey, maybe a wedding will bring all the sisters together. Spoiler alert, it didn't. She couldn't wrangle the whole crew, and just like that, the wedding plans hit pause.
No date.
There's no date. We almost had a date. Well, we had 2 dates, but we were doing Braxton Family Values, and we were going through a little drama, and I was like, okay, the wedding is a good thing to get all my sisters together.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get us all together, and I said, the wedding's not a good reason because it's messing up my relationship a little bit. He's like, come on, Michelle, set a date. I know.
That's what he calls you?
Calls me Michelle. Doesn't call me Toni at all. That's my middle name, Toni Michelle. Yeah.
Set a date.
He said before the year's out, so I have, what, a couple weeks.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
So he's 45, you're 51.
He's 49.
49.
Still, despite the chaos, Toni couldn't hide how hyped she was to finally tie the knot. She even said, clear as day, just how excited she was to walk down that aisle. "This is my second wedding, and I'm over 40. It's like Carrie Bradshaw, the last bride over 40, so I want something that's elegant and a little sexy. I've already done the beautiful belle dress at my first wedding. This time I want something that's more vintage, 20s and 30s, like Great Gatsby themed. As for her groom's must list, Toni said he wants macaroni and cheese. I said, can we have macaroni and cheese balls to keep it pretty? Toni also said she would let Birdman have his say about the location, adding he wants to get married in California. We talked about Atlanta, but he said no because he didn't want any remnants of my first wedding. Well, plot twist, that wedding never happened. Toni claimed they kept postponing it because of her work schedule, but let's be honest, folks weren't buying it. If she really wanted to marry Birdman, she would have made it happen. Then came the mysteriously stolen $1 million engagement ring, which she allegedly lost after tossing it into checked luggage. Convenient, right? The whole thing smelled fishy. And just like that, boom, in 2019, they were done. Birdman dropped a cryptic "It's over" on Instagram, then wiped every single pic of Toni from his page like she was a ghost. Meanwhile, Toni popped up in a dramatic red gown with a caption that read, "Starting a new chapter isn't always an easy choice, but always choose to be chosen. Cheers to a new year." Cute. But jaws really hit the floor when it came out that Toni and Birdman had secretly tied the knot and split just 2 days later. Based on court documents, Toni and Birdman used only their initials, TB and BW. And while they probably hoped the details would remain a secret, it wasn't exactly rocket science to figure out those mystery court documents were all about Toni and Birdman. The initials might have been cute, but come on, we all knew. As per the court documents, Toni and Birdman secretly married on August 8th, and it says that they separated on August 10th. Then Toni filed for divorce 2 weeks later. And in the docs, Toni and her attorney called the marriage irretrievably broken. But even though they separated just 2 days after getting married, Toni dismissed the divorce petition in January 2025. And Birdman signed off on that, too. Which, by the way, means Toni and Birdman might still be legally hitched, yeah, let that sink in. And while the whole situation left fans scratching their heads, it didn't take long before rumors started flying that Toni only said "I do" for the cash. Now, I'm not saying it's true, but considering her money problems, it's not that hard to believe. Word on the curb is she's still not financially recovered. And surprise, surprise, Tamar is reportedly still the only one holding it down for her, just like always. But let's be real, marrying Birdman, then ditching him 2 days later? That's SUS with a capital S. So now I gotta ask, do you think Toni married for money? Drop your hot take, and while you're at it, sound off on how she basically carried her entire family like it was her full-time job.